Hello, U.S. history students. Mrs. Olson here with a video lesson titled World War II Timeline of Events. So what you are going to get in this video lesson is truly a timeline type of lesson, okay? So we're going to start in 1939 and end in 1945. There are going to be a few events that you learn about in between 39 and 45 in this video lesson. The learning target reads that you will be able to understand how events of World War II unfolded. Okay, so you're not going to be studying World War II for several weeks. You are going to learn about World War II from the lens of a timeline, learning how it began, a little bit about the middle, and then how it ended. Okay, so Unit 3, the driving question that you always want to have in the back of your mind and connect all of your learning to is this question. Should the United States intervene in world affairs? Should our country take part in, make decisions for, stick our nose in, if you will, in other countries' conflicts, events, affairs, wars? Should we get involved in other people's affairs? Okay. Another way to think about the driving question is think about the values, okay? What people hold to be true, what people say are good, what people place an emphasis on, what they believe, and then also events, all three of these things, values, beliefs, and events, and how those things influence the decisions for the United States to get involved, okay? Now, what I'd like you to do is actually pause your video and think about this question and these pieces for just a moment. I hope you paused it. All right, now we are going to review some vocabulary terms that were introduced to you in the previous lesson. And those vocabulary terms you always want to connect to what you are learning and the driving question. Okay, the first vocabulary term is power, and power is defined as the ability to influence the behavior of others and the course of events. You might say that the more power that a country or a person has, the bigger their ability to influence, the stronger their ability to influence the behavior of other people, and then what happens in a certain course of events. The second term is morality, and that is defined as the principles. You can think of principles as views and beliefs in a society that help distinguish, okay, make decisions between, determine what is right and wrong. All of us live by a moral code. We make decisions because of our morals. And the third vocabulary term is foreign policy, and that is defined as a government strategy for dealing with other countries, other nations. Think of the word strategy as a plan, certain things maybe that have to be in place for decisions to be made, okay? So once again, these are review terms. Pause it here if you haven't written these down or if you want to spend more time with power, morality, and foreign policy. Okay, so once again, you're connecting those terms to everything that you are learning and running across in our Unit 3 on the United States intervening in world affairs. All right, so here we go. Make sure that you have note-taking tools at your disposal for the World War II timeline of events. Okay, so the years of World War II lasted from 39 to 45. You might argue that World War II started in 1938 And you might argue that because of decisions that Adolf Hitler made in Germany leading to the outbreak of war in 1939. Okay? It is titled a world war because it impacted so many countries around the world. This isn't just a war between 2 or 3 or 4 countries. Many, many more countries are involved. And our own country actually did not enter into World War II until 1941. So it had been going on for a few years before the United States is directly affected by this big war. All right, so a map to show you countries involved in World War II. If you love maps, or if you want to look at it for a little bit longer, make sure that you pause the video here so that you can study the countries in red that were involved in World War II. All right, so we're going to pit the sides against each other. We're going to learn about the different sides, who is fighting who in World War II. All right, if you like to look at things from a good guy, bad guy point of view, well, this is how I've got it laid out here in these boxes. All right, so the good guys, or sorry, the bad guy side are the Axis powers, and this side you will soon learn are the Allies or the good guys, if you're looking at it from the United States point of view. All right, so who's involved on the Axis side? You've got Germany, Italy, and Japan. Now, those are the big dogs. There were other countries that were involved on the Axis side, but if we just look at it from the big dogs, the major countries involved, we've got Germany, which you can see here is represented, or rather this flag with the Nazi symbol represents Germany. Okay. The Italian flag, which today is now only the bands of color, is here. So this represents Italy. And then the rising sun flag, which doesn't look like this today, but this is the flag that represented Japan in World War II. All right, on our other side, we have the Allies. And the Allies are the United Kingdom, or Great Britain, the United States, in 1941 is when they throw their hat in the ring. France, the USSR, this stands for United Soviet Socialist Republic, or the Soviet Union. Today they are called Russia. And China. All right, so let's look at some flags. This is the British flag. I don't have the American flag because you know what it looks like. This is the French flag, which today is just represented by the band of colors. This is the Soviet flag with the hammer and the sickle. And then this is the World War II flag representing China. All right, how did this humongous war start? Well, we have to go back a little bit, and while we're not going to spend a lot of time with it, do know that Hitler made a lot of calculated decisions in the decade of the 30s that put him into power in Germany. Okay, there were many things that he did to get himself into power, and then to he did many things to the Jewish people in Germany to take away their rights as citizens in the country. Hitler blamed Germany's economic downturn. Economics, you want to think about money, jobs, markets, okay? Everywhere around the world in the 1930s, it was the Great Depression. The Great Depression affected pretty much every country in the world. Hitler is blaming the Great Depression in Germany on what happened to Germany after they lost in World War I. All right, so World War I was 1914 to 1917. The victors, France, the United States, Britain drafted the Treaty of Versailles, which Germany, being a loser, did not benefit from. So he's blaming the Treaty of Versailles on the Great Depression in Germany at the time. He also blamed Jewish people, which doesn't make any sense, but he did. He also blamed Jewish people. Okay. Germany, what they started doing in the 30s was they started to amass, really, this is to take, land and resources to build themselves back up. All right, to put a face to a name, if you've never seen Adolf Hitler, this is what he looked like. He was very, very popular in Germany. If you ever watch some of his speeches, he is an enigmatic, a charismatic orator, somebody who gives speeches. He's actually hard to not pay attention to. Not condoning anything that he did, but he is an interesting figure to watch if you ever see one of his speeches that are recorded. Okay. How did this start? We're kind of building, we're leading up to World War II starting and Hitler amassing power. World leaders appeased Hitler. Here's the way that I like to think of appeasing. Appeasing means to give into, right? Let's take children, little kids. Little kids are asking for a cookie. Please, mommy, please, can I have a cookie? Just one cookie, mom. Mom gives child one cookie. Is child appeased by the one cookie? Probably not. Little child is going to ask for another cookie, right? They're not going to be appeased with just the one. Try to apply this to Hitler. He's taking lands that are surrounding Germany. World leaders knew exactly what he was doing and thought that if they just allowed him a few of these lands that were somewhat inconsequential, that he would stop, that he would be appeased and he would be okay and life would go on. Boy, oh boy, were they wrong. Okay, in 1938, Germany annexes Austria. They essentially took Austria. They took Austria because Austria kind of let them. In many ways, Germany and Austria were very, very similar. They have similar histories. They speak the same language. They have the same monetary values. Many things were the same. 1938, Germany takes an area of Czechoslovakia called the Sudetenland. And I want to show you the Sudetenland. Oh, kind of moved on me. So if you look at this map right here, this is Czechoslovakia. Okay. And this is the Sudetenland. So this is what he takes. This link is on your lesson page right here. So you can find that if you want to look at it even further. Okay. All right. In 1939, he continues by invading Poland on the west on September 1st of 1939. Okay. And because he invades Poland, let me show you that one. Because he invades Poland, it is very, very close to the Soviet Union. So here we have Germany, who invades Poland, and it's so close to the Soviet Union that the Soviets decide to invade because he gets way too close for their comfort. Okay. Also in 1939, so just 2 days later, the United Kingdom and France declare war on Germany, and that is because the UK, France, and the Soviet Union, they already have an alliance. They're already on the same side. So an alliance, think about this. If you watch my back, I'll watch yours. That's what these guys have already agreed to. And because Germany is getting too close to the Soviet Union, these guys are ready to come to their friends' defense. All right, you're going to go to the second installment of this